Mean Street Journal. Alright, today's episode of Mean Street Journal, we're going to celebrate a record label. That's right, Metal Blade Records. You can actually be a fan of not just an artist or a performer, but also the record label that puts these artists out. I've been a fan of the record label since around the year 1996, and never in my life would I have thought that an independent heavy metal record label would have a museum of its own. Several legendary artifacts of heavy metal nostalgia remain in this building. Here's the classic lobby Metal Blade logo. John Bush from Armored Saint. This is his vest from back in the day, as well as Joey Vera's synthetic chainmail armor. Here we have the classic heavy metal review fanzines that were passed around back in the 80s. This was before record label owner Brian Slagle came up with the name. I wish I could own a few of these myself. Same with some of these vintage promotional posters from the early 1980s. And before I get ahead of myself, let's check this shit out right here. This is it. The original Metal Massacre vinyls. The compilation albums that launched the careers of bands such as Metallica, Slayer, Armored Saint, Flotsam and Jetsam, Sacred Reich, Trouble, The Obsessed, even a band called Detente, which features a young Ross Robinson before he became a legendary heavy metal producer. I used to own several of these Metal Massacre compilations on CD. I lost many of them due to several shitty circumstances. I even used to own this little box right here, the Best of Metal Massacre long box. I still have the CD, but I don't have the box anymore. Cool cassettes, and there's that box set again that I'd like to have that. Here's a couple of long boxes of some classic albums right there. I'd definitely like to get that Slayer and that Armored Saint. Lots of promo samplers and box sets up in here. I see a couple familiar items I used to own and some things I never even thought would have existed. I even wonder if there's someone out there that owns every product that Metal Blade Records has released. Like, for example, I heard of Joey Jordison from Slipknot owning every album that came out on Roadrunner. Yeah, if any of you exist, hit me up in the comments. Or any Metal Blade fan, chit-chat. That'd be kind of cool. Here we got Lizzie Borden's costume, some classic promo photos, and my favorite Metal Blade logo, the guillotine. Kind of wish I can get a closer look at some of these items up there, but there's just too much stuff to check out. I know some of the items on display were found by the owner in his residence or storage units, I forget. But some items here on display are also, they're actually being borrowed by the band members of some of the bands. Like, for example, the Gwar costume, Flatus Maximus, and the Armored Saint attire that you saw a little bit ago. And I think that Lizzie Borden costume as well was also borrowed as well, I think. Oh, also the owner of the label, Brian Slagle, he's a big fan of hockey. I think you could tell, obviously. I actually got my hands on that 20th anniversary box set. I fucking love that motherfucker. I also got that Freddy's Dead soundtrack. I fucking dig that album too. That catalog with the chicks on it and that little purple and blue one on the right, I used to have those too. Kind of miss those old Metal Blade catalogs. There's a lot of stuff you can't even get anymore. Tell you what, anyone listening that might have a bunch of rare shit from the Metal Blade catalog, hook me up. No, I mean serious, for a decent price, I'll buy some shit off you if I dig it. Old catalogs, CDs that are out of print. There's even a long sleeve t-shirt I've always wanted, has the guillotine logo going down the arms, the sleeves, and it has the big guillotine on the back and a little one on the front. And I think one of the arms, it says Metal Blade going down one sleeve. And I do apologize for some of my shitty angles and the shaking. I was also a patron on this tour, and I was trying to pay attention to the guy that was explaining a lot of things. He's got a lot of amazing stories, and I recommend you go check this out. It's like, fuck gambling, dude. I like to go to Vegas for other shit. Yeah, I like entertainment and all, I like the heavy metal concerts, the House of Blues. I dig the record shops a lot as well. There's even a Metal Blade Records boutique at the Antique Mall of America in Las Vegas, and I'll get to that a little later. It almost seems like Las Vegas has something for just about everyone. Almost. It's very fucking surprised about this and fucking excited. Killer fucking artwork. And if you're a fan of Merciful Fate and King Diamond, here's a bunch of kick-ass shit here for you. I think the first album that actually like grew on me from Merciful Fate, I'm a little late to the party, but it's the album Into the Unknown. I heard a couple tracks from the Metal Meister Volume 1 and the Metal Meister VHS. So yeah, it was the title track Into the Unknown, and the Uninvited Guest had a video that I really liked a lot. That kind of got me into his music, Merciful Fate anyway. And, and then of course, you check out the back catalog and you realize what you missed out on, because you were I was way too fucking young when the early shit came out. Then there's a solo King Diamond album. I think it's called The Graveyard. It has a song called Trick or Treat. I heard that on another one of those Metal Meister compilations. I think it was 2 or 3. I can't quite remember. And another thing I do notice about the Metal Blade Records artists, they have a certain distinct sound, and it's because the producer Bill Matoyer has produced and engineered a lot of their recordings. I kind of miss that old Cannibal Corpse logo. If you get the reissues, it has the new font, which, it's cool and all, but I really like that original Chris Barnes font from back in the day. I think it's really hard to get a hold of those CDs now that have that, and I had a couple of them on hand. Here we got Slayer's Hell Awaits album. This is like the master that they would use to press the artwork for the vinyl back in the day. Some more kick-ass heavy metal artwork. Gotta scope out real quick. Definitely be respectful and don't touch a lot of stuff, and try not to bump into a lot of it. There's a lot of irreplaceable items in here. There's the Bitch EP, Damnation Alley, as well as the Armored Saint EP, back in the day, 1982, I think, 83, something. The debut Slayer album, Show No Mercy. Bitch, Be My Slave. Killer fucking band. She kind of reminds me of Pat Benatar when she sings. Scoping up some shit before I walk into this room here. Imagine if someone else's house has all this stuff in it. That'd be kind of cool to check out. Kind of one thing cool about the heavy metal fans is they're very passionate about their music. They will dedicate their home decor to it, you know what I'm saying? It'll be their personality in general. This room here seems to have a lot of concert posters and promos. There you got the Guarbecue Festival. I wish I could have gone to that. That looked like that was a lot of fun. My favorite band, Corrosion to Conformity, I think performed at one of those. I kind of want that license plate frame too. I remember seeing those in a catalog a while back. I think they're still available, if I remember correctly. Fuck, I'd just like to see Guar once. I mean, kind of missed out on the original Odaris Arungus on vocals. Cannibal Corpse is a band I wish I seen. Same with 6 Feet Under. I haven't seen that many Metal Blade bands in person, which is kind of odd. These are some sick fucking posters. Especially this Cannibal Corpse one right here. Kind of dig that. There's like no wall space to put these posters, so they got to put them on the ground here. Kind of like to have that Sacred Reich scarf over here. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Kind of wonder what else he's going to find to put in this place. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he digs out some more artifacts and sells them. That'd be pretty badass. It's just funny, like, being a fucking heavy metal nerd, this is like a goddamn treasure trove, for people like me. And it's funny, like, a lot of people, who gives a fuck what they think, but they don't understand. It's almost the same fucking thing. They're into football, or, they're into cars, or whatever. Well, heavy metal people are into their music, and it's a niche, kind of fucking interest, I guess you could say. But it's, it's not much different than what, like, other people do with their interests and hobbies and whatnot. And these look all well preserved. I've kind of got a closer look. Yeah, it's like he had like a fuck ton of this stuff, and some people brought in some things as well, and they were just well preserved items from the past. Looks like we got a bunch of like backstage pass laminates in here. Kind of apologize. I should have got a closer look. I kind of was multitasking. I was listening to him, talking to him, and asking him stuff, and then kind of scooping some video shit at the same time. So my bad that it was kind of rushed. It seemed at certain parts, but Definitely not my intention at all. I was just kind of caught in the moment. Some more Merciful Fate and Mr. King Diamond himself up here. Lots of fucking kick-ass Merciful Diamond Dynamo Fest here. Look at that. Some of these here look like they're taken from various heavy metal magazines. Kind of reminds me, I need to go look in my old stash. I got old Metal Maniacs, Metal Edge, Terrorizer, all that shit. I got a fuck ton of magazines still, and I think I have a bunch of shit kind of like that. Maybe I'm going to do something like that when I get a new house and start decorating. Heavy Metal Martha Stewart. Well, let's not go there. Yeah, it sucks when you're in a transition phase and you have like all this stuff and you want to hang it all up and add more to your collection, and it's like you gotta wait, you know. Here's something for you sports junkies out here. Raiders SA. That Slayer poster's fucking tits. Here we go. Slayer gold albums. I think these are imports, because I think they went gold elsewhere. That's a pretty fucking badass Metallica poster right here. Well, I don't want to call it a poster. It's got looks like it's got a shitload of CDs in it for the Black Album, I want to say. It looks like the Black Album. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's got the snake on it. Promo poster for the compilation New Wave of British Heavy Metal. Pretty much bands that influenced Lars to form Metallica, in other words. Fuck. I'd like to get my hands on one of these banners if they ever have like any more of these like for sale, which I kind of doubt, but you know, it's good to put the word out, you know. Alright, here's a surprise coming up. Check it. A fuck ton of Metallica stuff. Classic Metallica. The original lineup. Old promo flyers for their gigs back in the day. I could probably assure you some Metallica diehard fans are probably wanting to get their hands on these. Yeah, but then again, there's just some things you just can't part with, no matter fucking the price. It's like fucking, you know, sentimental attachment, you know what I mean? So you got Metal Massacre 1, and here's the cassette, the demo Lars gave to Brian Slagle. The misspelled Metallica on the back of this vinyl. I kind of wish Metallica debuted on Metal Blade Records. I think that would have been pretty fucking badass, but I guess at the time Metal Blade Records didn't have the funds for it. It was mainly around that time he was putting out the early Metal Massacres and a very few albums by the bands, such as Bitch and Armored Saint, for example, and the debut Slayer. And Dave Mustaine, I guess, even approached the label to get Megadeth's debut to come out, but same situation. But that would kind of be cool if Metallica officially released their demo on Metal Blade. I think that would be pretty cool, like a nice reissue package. And sorry for that spin. I don't want to get anybody sick watching this. Alright, so we got Slayer, Show No Mercy, and Hell Awaits. These are, especially Show No Mercy, these are probably like, this is like my favorite era of the band Slayer. You know, it's like Rain and Blood is fucking awesome. That might be the best album, I guess, you know, by them, but it depends on my mood. Hell, I wouldn't mind getting these on vinyl as well. I do have them on CD. I'm not sure if mine are the reissues or not. And I think the reissues have been remixed to sound a little bit more brighter, but I have to really check back on that. It was kind of cool how they have a bunch of foreign import versions of these Slayer albums down here. Bunch of cool promo shit. Couple of pics and scattered little various items here. I like this picture. And this one too. That's Jeff Hanneman's wife. That's yeah, pretty cool picture. Lots of backstage laminates. Those are fucking badass. I like to collect stuff like that. I have a couple of some bands. Fuck yeah, dude. Cool shit. Love Haunting the Chapel. Oop. Gotta go back up here for another second round of these. Alright. I could imagine, like, working for, like, Metal Blade. That'd be pretty fucking cool. Like, you know, some people got these, like, dead-end, like, minimum wage jobs that they just fucking hate. It's like, this could be, I don't know how much, I'm not talking about how much they fucking pay, but Imagine just working in an environment where you just have heavy metal is your fucking whole workplace. That would be the shit. I don't think I'd fucking give that up for anything. Bunch of fucking badass shit. Here's some Viking shit. I'm on a Marth. A lot of fucking... This band got fucking big. I remember when I first heard of them back in the late 90s. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know, Victorious March or whatever the fuck it was. That's a pretty cool track. I really dig the band Goatwhore. I actually seen them once. I have not seen Cannibal or Merciful Fate, like I've said before, but I really need to check some of these bands out live one day. Yeah, I'm very picky on death metal and shit, you know, so it's almost like I like older stuff from certain bands like that, especially like the Cannibal Corpse or 6 Feet Under stuff. But Goatwhore, I don't know, they kind of grew on me. I really dig a lot of their style. And up here, look, we got Beavis and Butthead, the video game, has Gwar in it. Kind of want that poster, that Armored Saint up there, and maybe that King's X album too, the promos. I might have to check eBay and see what they got, but I kind of have a feeling some shit's going to be pretty expensive. It's kind of how it is now. It's so fucking rare. Yeah, it's just kind of how it goes, you know. Even if you're a fucking metalhead, you're going to pay top dollar for some shit. I definitely like these Armored Saint and Fate's Warning posters right here. Those two albums are fucking classic. Those are 1991 albums that I covered before. Here's some Battle Axes. I didn't get specifics on whose guitars those were exactly, but I didn't even look at the autographed one that close. I was kind of fucking multitasking. Yeah, I should have asked him some details on whose was what and all that, because I don't even know like if they're owned by Schlegel or they're fucking owned by the musicians that used them. Yeah, the Viper's coming up. I fucking love that motherfucker. Here it is. But yeah, like I've said before, if you recognize anything like, you know, these guitars here, feel free to flood the comments, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be more guitars coming soon or later. Obviously there's a Rob Zombie and an Alice Cooper guitar. That's pretty cool. And I think this one coming up is one of Kerry King's old guitars that he retired. I think he's got a fucking ton of them or something. The infamous Warlock. And Dimebag. Why the fuck not? Rest in peace. Gotta love the classic ML. And here we go. Some Goatwhore. Fucking love that band. Yeah, lots of sports stuff. And we got some reissues of some albums in here coming up. But yeah, who would have thought heavy metal and hockey? They actually go together. Not for me, but I mean, I do notice that that's a pretty, like, heavy metal and hockey seem to be the thing, where hip-hop and fucking football are the thing. Anyway, let's not talk about that shit. But yeah, heavy metal and hockey go together. Hockey is pretty fucking metal. You fucking bash motherfuckers like a mosh pit, but you got a fucking stick in your hand. But I do like how Metal Blade reissued a fuck ton of stuff, or not a fuck ton, but you know, some rare albums that didn't get the proper reissue treatment, like this Thin Lizzy album here, and that Thin Lizzy album too. I actually need to get my hands on these. These are, I heard they're rare now, but they sound better. They've been remixed. But yeah, Brian Schlegel put out reissues of, yeah, like I said, those Thin Lizzy albums, as well as Deep Purple and Alice Cooper. And I think there's an Aerosmith album. I meant to ask him about that, but I think there's an Aerosmith album that got a reissue treatment with Metal Blade's help. Yeah, I do notice Roadrunner is like a soccer-themed record label, the All Blacks, and it's like kind of like how this band, this record label is the hockey label. I really like how they advertise their anniversaries like that, and they put out these free samplers that you could download. And I don't even know if they do the CD thing anymore. I don't think they do, but I remember collecting a fucking ton of those. And it's like that Metal Blade 15th anniversary was a double disc. You had to buy for like full price at the record store. But I don't even know if they put out the CDs like they used to for compilations and stuff. It's just like they put them on Bandcamp and you just download them for free, and there's a fuck ton of songs on them. I mean, that's cool and all, the freebie download, but I love that physical copy thing, you know. I like the artwork and the paper and all that shit. Anyway, I was yapping during the Alice Cooper thing you just saw. My bad. You can always go back and hit pause. Anyway, next, Cannibal Corpse. I really dig those bar stools, the Metal Blade logo on them. I should have asked him what bands played here. I'm sure they've had some little performances here in private. That'd be pretty fucking badass. And no, those shirts over there are not for sale, I asked him. I'm still fucking tripping out. This is just a few days ago when I took this video. But the whole experience was pretty fucking cool. I was like a big fucking kid. It just kind of gave me goosebumps, you know, being here, checking all this shit out. Yeah, who would have thought? Over a record label. Not just a band, or multiple bands, but a fucking record label, you dig? Here's some Viking shit for you Amon Amarth fans. Yeah, these bar stools, I'd like to get me a few of these. That'd be kind of cool. I don't even know if they're available to the public for purchase, but I'd like to have a few of them. That'd be pretty badass. Pretty cool shit right here. I like the artwork on these. But no, I do apologize for the camera shakes and the lack of focus on some of these items, like the small text that's really hard to read. And like I said, this channel is really fucking new to me, this whole filming thing. I'm doing it all DIY, so just please bear with me. I hope I will get better at this in time. I am going to check out some pointers online and a couple other people I might hit up. Kind of curious what magazine that was that I just saw right here. And you got a band's Marshall cabinet. Now that I think of it, I've been to a festival where I saw the Metal Blade logo. It was some of those deathcore bands that I'm not really into, but I guess that's what they were promoting. And yeah, in the music industry, we have singles, and Metal Blade got to partake in that. What you think about that? Yep, the Goo Goo Dolls went multi-platinum with the Boy Named Goo album. And that was also reissued strictly through Warner Brothers. I don't think it'll have the Metal Blade logo on it anymore, from what I was told. Yeah, it's funny. I've told many people that like the Goo Goo Dolls how they originated on a heavy metal label, and then that they were a punk band way back in the day. And not to be a biased fan of the label, I do enjoy those albums that they put out on Metal Blade. It was kind of like that early 90s grunge alternative when it was actually pretty good. Yeah. It's kind of a guilty pleasure, but no, it's actually good music. I dig the song that they did. They did a couple songs on the Freddy's Dead soundtrack, and there's like one particular one that I think it like is an exclusive about the Freddy Krueger character. Anyway, next. Kind of dig the battle vest. I did not ask. I just kind of grabbed it and turned it around. I feel kind of like a dick just helping myself like that. Yeah, I don't know if that was cool that I did that. It's out of respect, I just kind of didn't really think. I was a little bit ahead of myself, but yeah, I advise you ask. Don't pull what I just did. Here's a nice poster to put in the guest room. You know, when you got the uninvited family members that you kind of don't like, you're like, fuck it, I'll put you in this fucking room, you dick. Sleep well, motherfucker. But yeah, like I said, it was like being a fucking kid in a candy store or whatever, like Disneyland or some shit. It's kind of surreal. It's almost like I get to be part of an industry, you know, this part of the industry anyway, that I've always wanted to be part of since I was a kid. It's almost like, wow, I actually get to experience Metal Blade Records in a way that I never thought I would have. Lots of killer gold albums. Oh, and before I forget, don't forget to check out Metal Blade Records has books out. You have For the Sake of Heaviness and Swing of the Axe, which is part 2 to that. It's pretty much the history of Metal Blade Records. The first one is also available with an audiobook with Brian Slagle and John Bush of Armored Saint. They both take turns like reading them off. It's pretty fucking cool. John Bush's voice is fucking awesome. Thank you for checking out Mean Street Journal. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the fucking bell. Please and thank you. Make sure to check out tpublic.com for Mean Street wear for all your offensive apparel needs. Until next time, see ya.